Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
慣れないのだと今住んでる人たちのことも考えてほしいとマダム・ローレンが今言ってるウォーレンがわかる
She has to let me be in peace. Why, Teresa? Why? Go to the light, Teresa. Go to the light. Your family is waiting for you. They're no longer here. They're no longer here. Yes, go. Teresa, you hear me? Teresa, you hear me? You understand me? Teresa, leave. Leave, Teresa. Leave, dear. Leave. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you, Teresa. I'm here to help you. Leave, Teresa. Leave. Think of your mother, Teresa. Do you see your mother? No. See your mother. Your mother. She spoke in English, Ed.
あなたのお母さんの体見えますか
You see your mother? Go with your mother, Teresa. Go with your mother.
Go with your mother.
Go with your mother.
See your mother?
Do you see your
Yeah.
mother?
Go with her.
あそこのお母さんがいると
English. She sees her mother. All right. I will help your mother. Her mother's right here. Go with her. Go with her, Teresa. I was here before. Think of your family, Teresa, and leave. It doesn't matter.
I would not want to be in a room with them. That's for sure. That was creepy. Shout outs to Ed and Lorraine Warren. Looks like they've been on the paranormal scene since the 70s.
This is Guy de Rothschild and Marie-Helene de Rothschild. Their lavish surrealist ball of 1972 is the reason the Met Gala took a turn. You see, the first ever Met Gala was in 1948, and it was very different. It was actually a representation of class and elegance, art, couture. A lot of things changed when Anna Wintour came into the picture, but we'll get into that in another episode. This is an iconic moment for Cher. She attended the Met Galas in 1970. See how different the clothing were? Everyone was very sophisticated, elegant, extravagant, but classy. But everything changed once the Rothschild Surrealist Ball Guy and Helene hosted the most extravagant, artistic, elaborate party of all times. So let's go through some of the costumes of that night. Evening was a black tie, long dresses, and surrealist heads theme inside the 1972 Rothschild's ball, hosted by Baroness Marie-Helene de Rothschild and her husband Guy. The eccentric evening featured otherworldly costumes, bizarre decorations, and a lot of symbolism. This was the invitation and was inspired by a famous painting by René Magritte, 1929 painting, The False Mirror. The background of clouds, you could only read it backwards. And what I mean by that is you needed to look at it, reflecting it in a mirror, and then you could read it. So the backwards invitation in per se was this really cool thing. But you know what they say about backwards things? Was the perfect example of inversion. This also was a family tradition. There are a lot of elite families that have these ritualistic family traditions. And this is the original invitation. Guy and Marie-Helene de Rothschild made their chateau in France, this huge mansion, appear like it was on fire with these red and orange lights. Black furry plates, and Audrey Hepburn arrived wearing a bird cage around her head. And the bird cage in per se is, we can do another video just on what the bird cage means. Stuff is what was adorning the dinner tables. It was supposed to be something for athletic sports. And then there were these taxidermied tortoises all around the tables as decor. This person came dressed as a painting. Then other table had dismembered dolls as decor. Yeah, weird. And one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite actresses, Marissa Berenson, in the middle. After this party, she had a lot of job opportunities. This table decor is kind of hard to understand what it means, but it has 9 peaches in sets of 3. Number 333. The Rothschilds called upon the most famous surrealist painter in the world to design some of the costumes. That is him. But he did not come in costume. Well, the food was presented on a mannequin's body laying on the table. And I'm going to cover the image just in case it's too much for TikTok. And here we have the belle of the ball herself, Marie-Helene de Rothschild, wearing the famous stag costume, which I've explained in previous videos, how the hunting of the stag is part of this tradition, this family tradition after these parties. So you're always going to find symbology of the stag. In fact, his head, if you notice, has pheasants in it. Again, another symbol of hunting. Like in ancient times, after these royal families would have these extravagant parties, a lot of times there were hunting parties. The hunt of the stag. This costume represented the famous painting of Leonardo da Vinci, the Mona Lisa. This was another decoration for that night, a glass-encased slipper. I don't know, giving me Cinderella vibes. Another extravagant kind of cool thing is that all the help was dressed as cats. So they would greet you dressed as cats, and then during the evening they would change into a all black and white tuxedo or long black dress. Just like in the movie Ready or Not. And again, we have Marie-Helene de Rothschild wearing another stag headpiece. Baron Alexis Diddy poses for this courageous photographer with all of his 6 heads. I don't know what this is supposed to symbolize, but yeah. It keeps on getting weirder and weirder. Art? Okay. And here we have Marie-Helene de Rothschild, the Baroness, talking to Alexis Diddy. I'm an artist, but I don't get it. This guy brought a doll with him. And I love these 2 guys. They are called the unnamed couple. Why don't they have their names? And his face is painted like the blue-hued invitation. And then it said to leave to your imagination and interpretation what she represents. I mean, they don't even know themselves. So yeah, the Met Gala was always classy and sophisticated until the Rothschilds had their surrealist party in 1972. Then everything changed, and the Met Gala became almost a surrealist party that they had every year. Remember, Met Gala has after parties also. But I'll tell you more about that in the next episode.
Shout out to Christina Bruno, 1111. Lots of Stanley Kubrick eyes wide shut vibes with this one. Was this what Stanley Kubrick trying to tell us?
A witness against Diddy named some of the celebrities that he saw on Diddy's tapes that were given to the feds as evidence. And I'm talking about Courtney Burgess, who testified to the grand jury against Diddy, who also said that he had 11 flash drives from Kim Porter containing 8 tapes that involved 8 celebrities. And he believed that 2 to 3 of these celebrities were possibly minors during this time. And the celebrities that he names are the ones that appear to be underage in these videos. My heart is literally broken after hearing these names because a lot of these names are the ones that we have already heard rumored multiple different times. So I'm going to go ahead and roll y'all this clip, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Were kids involved in these parties that you can verify from looking at the tapes?
If Justin Bieber was older than he's supposed to have been, yes. If Usher was older, well, Usher was definitely young.
Okay.
You understand? The shoulder part was the blood was all in his bed. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they came home from a event, a party or something. Mary J. Danny Boy, okay. You know what Danny Boy is?
I heard that before. I don't, I've been so far away from hip hop, I forgot, but I have heard that name, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy back then, he looked like he was about 16. They both was about.
So do you have like pictures or images of any of this stuff?
Yeah, I got Justin Bieber, Will Smith's son, whatever his name is. Other females on the table, they was young. He was eating off them. A lot of entertainments in there. I got calls from certain wanting to get the tape out of my hand. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is getting crazier by the day. Shout out to Khadisha Lynn. My first time hearing about this guy or seeing him speak on these allegations of what he has. It's definitely heartbreaking.
So nobody's talking about the fact that there were 7 confirmed tornadoes that hit Oklahoma during the night while everyone was sleeping. And nobody's talking about the fact that we are still receiving tornadoes in the month of November. What is going on with the world? Look at all this destruction that took place in Oklahoma, y'all. People were sleeping during this time, y'all. 7 tornadoes. This was just like Florida with the 39 confirmed tornadoes that just happened a few weeks ago, y'all. Check out this neighborhood. The houses are literally destroyed, y'all. There's debris everywhere. Trucks flipped upside down. Oh my goodness. Again, y'all, there's a shift here. I've been telling y'all about the shift. The shift is here. The pole shift. All of this is taking place right now. Look at that, y'all. Oklahoma. How does this happen? And then you see what she said? It said it hit us so fast we didn't have time to make it to the storm shelter. Alerts went off as the tornadoes was hitting. It was so scary. I said this before. There's no more warnings with these weather anomalies, y'all. Things are shifting, y'all. This is part of the shift. This shit is crazy, y'all. Oh my goodness. Yo, drones are probably the best photographers of the year. You know, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Because of drones, we're getting some impeccable photographs and videos. But look at that, y'all. Wow. That looks worse than Miami. Wow. So again, I'm just showing y'all the current events of what's taking place on the planet. But did y'all know about this? Let me know down in the comments below. And let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
Shout out to Conscious Juice. Shout out to Oklahoma. My prayers are with you. I noticed over the weekend they had popped up out of nowhere. I didn't know it was this many though. I'm hearing people say they didn't get a warning. By the time the warning went off, it was too late. That's unacceptable.
The gods from all the ancient mythologies are real. To be sure, the mythologies of the world show a shared common history. And the gods were real. They existed. Who were they? You can say they were aliens. They weren't born here. The demigods, however, were born on Earth. What am I talking about? Where are they from? Space, more appropriately called heaven. The gods from the ancient pantheons, I mean the main gods, not the demigods, are these fellas right here, not that one. Why are the planets in our solar system named after the gods? Because these are their celestial bodies, their immortal celestial bodies. I'm not being funny, man. This is dead literal. Well, the Book of Enoch named 200 angels, you might say. Have you counted all their moons, bro? So wait, I thought you said aliens, though. I thought you said these guys were aliens from outer space. Hold on. Yes, the aliens. None of these planets were born on Earth. Get it? They're all from heaven, do you see? They were all born in heaven. I'm not being funny. Look, the Fermi paradox says that space should be teeming with life. According to the laws of physics, it should be everywhere. We should be talking to aliens all over the place. Why aren't we? There isn't any life and there are no aliens, the Fermi paradox says. Paradoxically. Don't be a fool. Look at all the aliens in space, fam. There they all are. Easily seen, clear and present with us today. The stars are the super advanced, hyper-conscious, immortal celestial entities in space, the ETs, the extraterrestrials. The stars themselves are alive. The stars all have names. They all have jobs to do in reality here. These fellas right here, not being symbolic, not being metaphorical, these fellas right here reign over the earth with God. As real as you can imagine, get a good look at your forces of nature. Why would the forces of nature be personified? Because they have personalities. Now, I'm going to be as clear as a bell. Planet means wandering star. If you'll notice, these fellas right here are just as bright in the night sky as all the rest of the stars. How could that be? Put your hand down, NASA. I'm giving this lecture. Wandering stars, they're called this because of the patterns that they make in the sky that are very different from all the rest of the stars moving in unison. They all dance to a seemingly different tune than the rest of the stars in the night sky, tracing out patterns of sacred geometry throughout the year. Now I'm talking about by way of astrophysics, if you must. Behold the antediluvian forces of nature. How are the planets the forces of nature on Earth, though? That doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. It's in the math. In the same way that the solar system is the same relative structure as the atom, and every part and piece and subatomic particle in the atom is vitally important to the functioning of the atom, all parts affecting one another, so it is the same relatively in the solar system. The spinning and whirling around ain't just for nothing, it's for everything. I've shown you how sacred geometry, the same patterns these planets, these wandering stars, trace out in the night sky throughout the years. One of those spirograph things, you draw complex geometric shapes, 3D shapes with your 2D paper and your pen and your spirograph. Just as the planets trace out sacred geometry in the sky, sacred geometry is also cell division. It's also particle oscillations. It's also atomic orbitals. That's why I call it relative. There's the same relative structures. They're all doing that specifically, that orbitals thing, that cell division thing, that sacred geometry thing. What's doing that? Everything is doing the sacred geometry thing. And it all works together. Now, I know NASA wants you to believe that these are just dead rocks. And the truth behind that is, while these bodies are celestial and immortal, they are floating around up there without souls. Why? What happened to the souls of these immortal, celestial, super advanced ETs? They came down to Earth in the days of Noah. They saw women down here and they were like, look at that. Let's go down there and make wives of them. You see, these fellas neither marry nor are they given in marriage. They're all the lowercase s sons of God. The gods, lowercase g. Angels, you see. Aliens? No, angels. Okay? That's what I've been talking about this whole time. Angels, this isn't space, it's heaven, the second heaven. You can't see the third heaven, paradise, where the throne of God is. We can see and know the first heaven, it's the sky. The second heaven is this thing NASA calls space. And above that is the dark matter, paradise, the third heaven. We can't see or know the dark matter, but we can see what it does in the cosmic dance. It's absolutely reliant on that dark matter and energy that makes up 95% of the known universe. Can't see it, can't measure it. How do we know it? Oh, it affects everything. How dependent is reality on the dark matter and energy? Entirely. Without it, we would not exist at all. This is a top-down scenario, you know. But the stars are the angels that we can see. They definitely reign over the earth, and I mean do stuff mechanically. Even on the smallest levels, you can't even imagine neutrinos affecting the binary code of our reality all day, every day by the gajillions. From every direction. I ain't making none of that up. Just like electron orbitals are no accidents, no random thing that's just happening and swirling in an atom. It definitely has a form and a function. So too are the stars to the earth. Leg bone's connected to the knee bone. Anyway, these fellas left their bodies to come down to earth and have bodies on earth so they could mate with women. Because of course, a planet is not compatible in this form. How could angels abandon their first estate and come down to the earth? Well, it's kind of like, you put a VR headset on and it gets stuck. How about that? If you can't imagine Johnny Depp uploading his consciousness in that movie, Transcendent. Uploading a human consciousness to a computer, just put the VR goggles on and imagine it that way. They abandoned their first estate. And to this day, these are soulless immortal celestial bodies, because these fellas got bound in chains and thrown into hell when God flooded the earth in the days of Noah. Their offspring, the demigods, all drowned in the flood, but did not get bound in chains. These are the demons. That's why they're very concerned with not going back into the abyss, the abyssal zones where the earth cracked open, the fountains of the deep in the days of Noah. They go all the way down into hell. The demons got to crawl all the way up from there to get back out. What did Alex Jones say? They're coming out of the oceans. So to summarize, in the days of Noah, angels, and I mean these fellas right here specifically, quit their bodies to come to earth and mate with women and have offspring. That is not allowed. Now what about Satan and 1/3 of the angels of heaven? Was that them? No. Satan and his 1/3 of the stars of heaven have never been to hell. They're still in heaven. Satan roams around like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour on the earth, and then he takes those VR goggles off and accuses the brethren day and night before God. I will say clearly, all the prophecies about Satan compare him to the angels who abandoned their first estate in the days of Noah. And this is why there is confusion that Satan's never been to hell? What? No, these are the fellas that are in hell. Satan and his angels haven't been thrown down to the earth yet. These fellas abandoned their celestial bodies to come to earth. Satan and 1/3 of the angels of heaven are going to get thrown down, losing their morning stars, their glorified celestial bodies forever. And that's what it means, the guest at the wedding supper without a wedding garment on. How camest thou in here, friend, having not on a wedding garment? Will be said to Satan after Armageddon, the marriage supper of the Lamb, where he will be bound in those same everlasting chains and cast into hell for the first time after Armageddon. Some of these fellas get loosed just before Armageddon. Satan will also be let loose out of hell after the millennial reign of Christ for a short season to deceive the nations once more, to come down for Armageddon Part 2, like these fellas will deceive the nations to come down for Armageddon Part 1. One story on repeat, that's why history repeats. Told you all about the wheel within a wheel, the repeating of history, the repeating of one pattern in everything you can name, as a matter of fact. It's that binary code, it's that spring, summer, fall, and winter. It's that particle oscillation, it's that atomic orbital. It's that solar system, it's that galaxy. Toroids all the way down. To recap, here are the aliens. They are angels. Yes, they are immortal. Yeah, they're super, super duper advanced. Conscious entities with responsibilities and jobs according to the earth. Whereas these are soulless, unconscious, immortal celestial bodies. Not that one, that's where we are. Still conscious right there. One of their offspring survived the flood, though the bloodline was real diluted. Ham's wife. So that after the flood it gets real interesting. With the Greeks claiming to be descended from the gods. They were. But that's another lecture. As the days of Noah were, so shall it be in those days when the Son of Man shall begin to appear.
Now that's a lot to take in right there. The gods from Greek mythology were real, and the planets are angels. without souls. Like, some real heavy stuff. Shout outs to Dead Hidden. I could say a lot of people aren't ready for this conversation.
Jacob Rothschild is deceased. Well, did you ever hear about the experiments that they were making with AI? Basically, while you are still living, they start mapping your brain. This is real science. It exists already. They start mapping your brain, taking down your memories. And what they want to create is like an artificial intelligence of yourself. Basically, you are making yourself immortal. We used to see this a lot in movies and sci-fi movies, but it has become a technology that everyone is getting into, even Elon Musk with his AI, with the Neuralink. Ultimately, the goal is to capture all of your memories, all of your personality traits, everything that makes you you. You know how we say, based on where you're born and what your circumstances are, it molds you into the person you are today? Well, they get all of your memories by mapping your brain, all of your experiences, and they transfer it into an AI brain, into an AI consciousness. And allegedly, this is what they said they did with him. So if this is true, this means that his AI consciousness is still alive, if that makes sense. I am all into AI and robotics, and this is why I know a lot on that too. Elon Musk is pioneering the sector, while at the same time giving out warnings that if AI gets too technologically advanced, it could dominate man. So riddle me that. He tells you that it's dangerous, yet he's the pioneer in doing it. So that is why I said what I said in the previous video.
Well said. Shout outs to Christina Bruno 1111. It's like the movie RoboCop, if you ask me. Cop becomes robot and he still has his memories. It's just on some hard disk. That's some mind-blowing stuff right there. I wonder what year it was in RoboCop that this all was taking place. I had to check it out, look it up.
I'm going to leave the lights on and the camera rolling and see what we catch. I've chosen to do this particular spot because this seems to be where we get the most activity around this corner. Hopefully that should be enough. Okay, so the basic idea is I'm going to leave this overnight, come down tomorrow morning and see if we catch anything.
Shout outs to Michael D. McGee. Go follow his channel. That was really spooky. I think I seen something. This one, you gotta pay close attention.
Kim Porter gave Cassie Ventura copies of the freak-off tapes to use against Diddy. The chills that I got up and down my spine from this are unreal because this has been rumored for years, and now the witness that was just subpoenaed and testified in front of the grand jury against Diddy today is the one claiming this. Courtney Burgess is the witness that just testified to the grand jury against Diddy, and he claimed that he had 11 flash drives directly from Kim Porter that had 8 tapes involving 8 celebrities, and he believed that 2 to 3 of those celebrities were minors. He said that a very close friend of Kim Porter's is the one that gave him this flash drive. And I just found an interview that he just did, and he talks about Kim Porter giving multiple copies to different people, and one of them was Cassie, like we have heard the rumors for years. I'm honestly, I have no words for this. This has been a rumor that I've wholeheartedly believed myself, and now it's basically being confirmed by a witness. And they are not just going to have somebody come testify in front of the grand jury for no reason. What he has to be rock solid. And if Cassie really does have the same USBs from Kim Porter, then of course he would be another witness on getting these flash drives from Kim Porter. So does that mean that we might get some justice for Kim Porter? I am wholeheartedly hoping so. The magnitude of this is unreal. Not only would Diddy get in horrible trouble because there's allegedly minors on these tapes and Cassie Ventura allegedly had the same tapes, we could also possibly get an investigation into what happened to Kim Porter. And all I can think about is my girl Salone Bella, who clocked all of this shit. Like she said with Diddy, all of the things that were going to happen, and then look, they all happened consecutively, and now all of the stuff that she said about Kim Porter is happening consecutively. And she said that Kim Porter had 3 people that had these flash drives.
6 months before she got sick, an email came into my email that someone sent me some flash drives. I was at down at Rockefeller Center, next door to Atlantic Records. So I met them, got the flash drives and everything. 11 flash drives.
You actually had the physical drives.
Yes.
And you got them from who directly?
I can't really reveal the name, but it came from her inner circle, her.
Okay. Now, did Kim know that you had the flash drive?
Yes.
Okay.
She was well in good health when I got the flash drive.
And what did she think about you having the flash drive? So did she know you? Did she try? I mean,
she said she gave Cassie some stuff as well. So she said, I need some of it too. I think when it was, Kim was tired.
I'll Be Sure said that Kim Porter, right before she passed away, was getting ready to expose her abuses, SA, and trafficking. He said that Kim was allegedly taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Miss Cassie Ventura did by igniting the bonfire, which brings us here today with the avalanche that has brought Satan to their chambers. Even had Jaguar Wright saying that she knew that Kim Porter and Cassie met right before Kim Porter passed away.
Cassie, I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us. And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe.
And a lot of people already thought it was really weird that Cassie finally got away from Diddy after 11 years, October 2018, and then Kim Porter would pass away not even a month later. Kim Porter passed away November 15th, 2018. And I have always said, when you have multiple people saying the same thing, especially with a situation like this that has happened multiple different times and in different time frames, like all of these people are not saying this close together or just recently, it is something we need to be listening to. This is something that I have always believed with my whole heart. And now we have a witness against Diddy that is giving this evidence to the feds and just testified this against him. for the grand jury, y'all. The grand jury. We better get some movement and some justice for the beautiful Miss Kim Porter. I am telling y'all, this is probably nowhere near done, especially knowing that Kim Porter possibly also gave Cassie some information too. And I am really thinking that this is why they called this man to also be a witness against Diddy, because they know that Cassie gave them some of the same evidence. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
This week's hot topic is the Rothschild family history. The Rothschilds are a European banking dynasty with origins in the 15th century, Frankfurt, Francoforte, Germany. And the family name comes from the red shield, Rothschild, on the house of their 16th century ancestors in Frankfurt's Jewish ghetto. And their founding father was Meyer Amschel Rothschild, 1744 to 1812. He established the family banking empire, and he started off as an antique coin dealer and court agent to William, the future Elector of Hesse. The family crest is a fist holding 5 arrows. Very important. They represent the 5 sons of Meyer and their unity. Therefore, the 5 arrows became the symbol of the Rothschild family. The Rothschilds' business expanded into trading government bonds and textiles, and their sons established offices in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. And this is when the Rothschilds became one of the wealthiest and most powerful families in the world. They are considered to be the most powerful dynasty of the 19th century. They were the bankers to monarchs and governments. And these geniuses knew exactly where to invest their money at the right time, at the right place. They invested in railroads, coal, iron making, oil, and metallurgy. This family is known for making a lot of money every time there's a war. And I'm talking about going all the way back to the Napoleon Wars. And the Rothschilds' heritage, the houses, the historic monuments, the gardens, art collection, antique collection, artifact collection. They are considered part of Europe's best heritage. They have become one of today's master dynasties, behind the scenes, controlling almost everything because they've invested in so many things that they are literally unstoppable. One of the top families in the world. They have been at the center of the world's financial markets for the past 200 years. Why am I talking to you about the Rothschilds? Why is this important or relevant today? Because what the Rothschilds want, the Rothschilds get. The current head of the Rothschilds family right now? Jacob Rothschild, 4th Baron Rothschild. They are barons now. Now have noble titles. And I know so much about them because it's thanks to them that I was privy to the ancient tablet artifacts that they had, because they are the ones that released them so that the public could see them now in the Museum of Liechtenstein, which I talk about in my series Nibiru, the history of the Anunnaki on their planet, on planet Nibiru. It's thanks to them that I got that information. Everyone wanted to know where I got these secret stories that not a lot of people are even aware of. It was the Rothschild's private collection that now is exposed in the Museum of Liechtenstein. And that's where I found all of the massive hidden history of the world. I wonder how much more they have.
Shout outs to Christina Bruno, 1111. So this family put their artifacts in a museum for all to see, but it's about Nibiru and an Anunnaki. Wait, this is crazy. I had to take a trip there.
The word planets is in the Bible, did you know? It's right here. The word planets means wandering stars. And the planets are called wandering stars because of the paths that they take through the night sky. It's as if the rest of the stars in heaven all dance to one tune together, while the planets dance to their own tune, not in unison with the rest of the heavens. While they shine as bright as the stars of heaven, they wander around compared to the rest of it. Wandering stars. But is Jude referencing the planets? These planets, when he says wandering stars, let's look at this. Who's he talking about? These, he's talking about people, are spots in your feast of charity, blemishes. When they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear of the Lord. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds. Whatever scratches their itching ears, they're on with now. Trees whose fruit withereth. Without fruit, they bear no fruit. Twice dead, plucked up by the roots. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Planets, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Why is the blackness of darkness reserved for the planets forever? What did these fellas do that Jude should compare people to them? This video is about the gods of the antediluvian world. These fellas right here. And Jude, who is the half-brother of Jesus, why only half-brother? Because Joseph was his dad, whereas the Holy Spirit was Jesus's. Jude is getting down on him right here. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, let me remind you, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Yes, he saved the Hebrews out of the land of Egypt, and every one of them who did not continue in the faith died in the desert. That's the parable of the sower from Matthew chapter 13 out of the mouth of Jesus Christ our Lord. I suggest you learn it. And the angels. Whoa. He's putting the brethren in remembrance of what happened to the people who didn't follow the Lord after he saved them. And if that ain't enough for you, and the angels, which kept not their first estate, their mansions. The angels, which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, heaven. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. These fellas who quit their bodies in heaven to come be gods on the earth in the days of Noah are bound in everlasting chains in hell, waiting for the great day for the Lord to return. Their heavenly celestial bodies are immortal. These bodies can't die, but their souls can be thrown all the way down into hell, wrapped in everlasting chains so they can't escape on their own. The gods of every mythology are the planets, the watchers, angels who kept not their first estate but came to the earth to mate with women. What is Jude talking about? Genesis 6, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and took them wives of all they chose. This is just talking about like Seth's offspring mating with Cain's offspring, right? Why? Because there were no daughters on Seth's side? What are you talking about? Who are the sons of God? Now this is Job 38. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth before forming Adam from the dust? Declare if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars, the immortal celestial bodies, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy when he laid the foundations of the earth, the angels. And it came to pass that the sons of God who shouted for joy when God laid the foundations of the earth kept not their first estate but left their own habitation to take them wives of all they chose of the daughters of men. The gods, who in every mythology mated with women and had the demigods. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown, the demigods. Now let me prove you something about the morning star. This is Jesus talking about his gospel. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end. Parable of the sower, Matthew 13, you got to keep the faith unto the end. He who endures to the end shall be saved. He that overcomes and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations in the first resurrection, when we come back to reign with Christ for 1,000 years. As what? I'll give you a chance to guess real quick. As what do we come back to reign with Christ over the earth for 1,000 years? Who's reigning over the earth with God now? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, a new covenant God brings to dash the nations to pieces with, so they learn who he is. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers. I ain't making nothing up. Even as I received of my Father, and I will give him the morning star. The glorified, immortal, celestial, heavenly body. That's what celestial means. Heavenly body. And they shall shine as the stars of heaven forever. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Is the devil a morning star? The devil is an angel, and he currently has a morning star, an immortal celestial body. Yes, that's the wedding garment. These fellas quit their first estate and came down to the earth voluntarily. This is a prophecy for the future. Revelation 12, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Satan is going to lose his morning star at the sixth seal of the apocalypse in the coming future. All prophecies about the devil in scripture compare him to these fellas that are bound in chains in hell. What happened to them is going to happen to you, the scripture says. Jesus said, I beheld Satan fall from heaven like lightning, and he was prophesying his revelation. John saw it too. Remember Jesus said there be some standing here that shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man come in his glory? John saw it, wrote it down, then he died. Jesus told no lies, he just spoke ironically all the time. People ask me, am I John, because he's supposed to still be alive? No, I'm Ryan, a little king digging a hole in a dry riverbed to bring the water up from below because it's a dry and thirsty land where no water is. That hole in a dry riverbed is called a dakala, and I work while it is day, for the night comes where no man can work. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. And we see in Job chapter 1 how the devil operates. Now there was a day when the sons of God, the angels, came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. He roams around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, and accuses the brethren before our God day and night. How does he do that in heaven, accusing our brethren? If he's already been thrown down, he is not. All prophecies compare him to the angels that quit their first estate in the days of Noah. How do we know that's what Jude was talking about? Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, planets, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these. Where? Where did Enoch prophesy of these that Jude quotes him here directly? Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. That's a direct quote line for line. And God took Enoch to heaven in the days of Genesis 6. Now, I don't care how you look at this. Figuratively, frequencies and vibrations, man. Okay. It's merely talking about astrophysics, the movements of the heavenly bodies affecting one another in the cosmic dance. Okay. It's merely energy condensed to a slow vibration and interacting. Okay. In any and every case, you better believe what Jesus said. Understand that any way you cut the cards, this is real. And just as these fellas quit their bodies in the days of Noah, Satan and 1/3 of the stars of heaven are going to get thrown down. In the very near future, considering our lives are all vapors, here today, gone tomorrow. A day to the Lord is like 1,000 years, 1,000 years is like a day. That's called relativity, fam. What is there to do? Keep yourselves in the love of God, looking for the mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ unto eternal life. And of some have compassion, making a difference, and others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. The mythologies are just stories, but they are based on reality, one that you can see with your own eyes. Every single thing tells the gospel of Jesus Christ. Everything confirms the absolute truth of what he told us. There's nothing to do here but to trust him and keep his words. They are eternal life.
I think this is one of the craziest I ever watched. Mind-blowing stuff, no doubt. Yeah, this that Joe Rogan-ish right there, bro. For real. Shout outs to Ryan, aka Dead Hidden. Talk about cooking it up. That was a feast. That was an early Thanksgiving, if you ask me.
I think two of the most tragic stories in Hollywood right now in the past 5 years is Aaron Carter and Nipsey Hussle. Aaron Carter was despicable, though, because he begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Silence breaker for my brother who is... Now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million. And they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million, they owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted. So please trust what I'm saying.
The thing is, you have Jaguar Wrights and Corey Feldmans and Orlando Browns and you have Dame Dashes, and you have Gene Deals. You have people that have worked from so many different aspects and so many different, and yet all roads lead back to the same conclusion. There's pure evil here.
What is going on, y'all? So the entire police department in Geary, Oklahoma, including the police chief, just resigned, y'all. And remember, this just happened in Oklahoma itself.
For the nearly 1,000 people who live here in Geary, they've lost their entire police department and 2 of their 3 city council members in a single day. Residents tell me they feel like their city is crumbling around them.
If this isn't an emergency, then I don't know what is.
We don't have much of a city anymore. On Thursday morning, the entire Geary police force turned in their badge. That's 5 officers, including the police chief. The announcement came on social media. The police chief thanked the town and encouraged residents to be more active in city government.
So basically, they are just leaving it to the people to fend for themselves. Y'all hear that? Geary, Oklahoma. Now, no reason was given as to why they quit, but they all quit together, including the 2 politicians from their small town. This is what one of the politicians says after they were audited, and the acting police chief right now was the one that audited them. That's interesting. So now all of this is going to pose a danger to the citizens because no one's there to protect them. Protect them, sir, which is what officers do. And I've also read in the comments that this has happened to other places as well. Did y'all hear about that? Is this happening other places as well? All of this is going on and no one's talking about this? Bro, please let me know what's going on, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, y'all. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure the algorithm know what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right, run these numbers up. Thanks again. Till next time.